A Winter Dream by Arthur Rimbaud. A winter we'll travel in a little pink carriage with cushions of blue. We'll be fine, a nest of mad kisses waits in each corner too. You'll shut your eyes not to see through the glass grimacing shadows of evening, for snarling monsters, a crowd going past of black wolves and black demons. And you'll feel your cheek tickled quite hard. A little kiss like a maddened spider will run over your neck. And you'll say, "Catch it," bowing your head. We'll take our time finding that creature who traveled so far. Anguish by Arthur Rimbaud. Is it possible that she will have me forgiven for ambitions continually crushed, that in the fluent end will make up for the ages of indigence, that the day of success will lull us to sleep on the shame of our fatal incompetence? Our palms, diamond, love's strength, higher than all joys and all fame. In any case, everywhere, demon God, youth of his being, myself, at the entrance of scientific wonders and the movements of social brotherhood, will be cherished as a progressive restitution of our original freedom. But the vampire who makes us behave orders us to enjoy ourselves with what she leaves us, or in other words, to be more amusing. Rode in our wounds through burning air and the sea, and torments through the silence of the murderous water and air, and tortures that laugh in the terrible surge of her silence. Antique by Arthur Rimbaud. Gracious son of Pan, around your forehead, crowned with flowers and with laurels, restlessly roll those precious balls, your eyes. Spotted with brown leaves, your cheeks are hollow, your fangs gleam, your breasts like a lyre tinkling circulate through your pale arms. Your heart beats in that belly where sleeps the double sex. Walk through the night, gently moving that thigh, that second thigh, and that left leg. Barbarian by Arthur Rimbaud. Long after the days and the seasons, and people and countries, the banner of raw meat against the silk of seas and arctic flowers, we do not exist. Recovered from the old fanfares of heroism, which still attack the heart and head, far from the old assassins. Of the banner of raw meat against the silk of seas and the arctic flowers, we do not exist. Bliss, live embers raining in gusts of frost. Bliss, fires in the rain of a wind of diamonds, flung out by the earth's heart eternally carbonized for us. Our world, far from the old retreats and the old flames, still heard, still felt. Fire and foam, magic reign of chasms and clash of icicles against the stars. Our bliss, a world of music, and forms, sweat, ice, and long hair flooding there, and white tears boiling. Our bliss, and the feminine voice reaching to the bottom of volcanoes and grottos of the Arctic seas. City by Arthur Rimbaud. I am an ephemeral and a not too discontented citizen of a metropolis considered modern, because all known taste has been evaded in the furnishings of the exterior of the houses as well as in the layout of a city. You will fail to detect the least trace of any monument of superstition. Morals and language are reduced to a simplest expression. At last, the way these millions of people who do not even need to know each other manage their education, business, and old age is so identical that the course of their lives must be several times less long than that which a mad statistics calculates for the people of a continent. And from my window I see new spectres rolling through the thick eternal smoke, a woodland shade or a summer night. New Menides in front of my cottage, which is my country and all my heart, since everything here resembles it. Death without tears, a diligent daughter and servant, a desperate laugh and a pretty crime howling in the mud in the street. Conclusion by Arthur Rimbaud. The pigeons which flutter in the meadow, the game which runs and sees in the dark, the water animals, the animal enslaved, the last butterflies, all are thirsty, but to dissolve where the wandering cloud is dissolving. How favoured be what is fresh, to expire in those damp violets whose awakening fills these woods. Democracy by Arthur Rimbaud. The flag goes with a full landscape, now jargon muffles the drum. In the great centres we'll nurture the most cynical prostitutions, we'll massacre logical revolts. In spicy and drenched lands, the service of the most monstrous exploitations, industrial and military, farewell here no matter where. Conscripts of goodwill, ours will be a ferocious philosophy, ignorant as to science, rabid for comfort, and let the rest of the world croak. This is the real advance. Marching orders, let's go. Departure by Arthur Rimbaud. Everything seen, the vision gleams in every air. Everything had, the far sound of cities in the evening, in sunlight and always. Everything known, a tumult of visions, These are the stops of life, departure and affection and shining sounds. Drunken Morning by Arthur Rimbaud. Oh, my beautiful, oh, my good, hideous stand there where yet I do not stumble, a wreck of enchantments. For the first time, hurrah for the unheard of work, for the marvelous body, for the first time. It began with the love of children, and there it will end. The poison will stay in our veins even when, as fanfares depart, we return to our former disharmony. Oh no, we who are so worthy of these tortures, let us recreate ourselves out of that superhuman promise made to our souls and our bodies at the creation. That promise with madness, elegance, silence, violence. This promise to bury in shadows the tree of good and evil, to banish tyrannical honesty, so that we might flourish in our very pure love. It began with a certain disgust, and it ended, since we could not immediately seize upon eternity. It ended in the scattering of perfumes. Love of children, discretion of slaves, austerity of virgins, horror of faces and objects here below, be sacred in the memory of the evening past. It began in utter abortionness, and now it ends in angels of fire and ice. Little drunken vigil blessed, if only for the mask you have left us. Method, we believe in you. We never forgot that yesterday you glorified all of our ages. We have faith and poison. We will give our lives completely every day, for this is the assassin's hour. Eternity by Arthur Rimbaud. It has been found again. What eternity? It is the sea fled away with the sun. Sentinel soul, let us whisper the confession of a night full of nothingness and the day on fire. From human approbation, from common urges, you diverge here and fly off as you may, since from you alone, set in the embers, duty breathes without anyone saying at last. Here is no hope, nor knowledge and fortitude, torture is certain. It has been found again. What eternity? It is the sea fled away with the sun. Evil by Arthur Rimbaud. While the red-stained mouths of machine guns ring across the infinite expanse of day, while red or green before the posturing king, the massed battalions break and melt away, and while a monstrous frenzy runs a course that makes 1,000 men a smoking pile-poor fools, and dead in summer in the grass on nature's breast, who meant these men to smile. There is a God who smiles upon us through the gleam of gold, the incense-laden air, who dozes in the cloud of murmured prayer, and only wakes when weeping mothers bow themselves in anguish, wrapped in old black shawls, and the last small coin into his coffer falls. Fairy by Arthur Rimbaud. For Helen in the virgin shadows and impassive radiance and astral silence ornamental saps conspired. Summer's ardor was confined to silent birds and dew indolence, to a priceless morning boat for gulfs of dead loves and fallen perfumes. After the moment of a woods woman's song, to a rumble of a town in the ruin of a wood, of a tinkle of the cobwebs to the echo of the wells and the cries of the steps. For Helen's childhood, first in shadows trembled, and the breasts of the poor in the legends of heaven. The eyes and the dance superior, even to the precious radiance, to code influences, to the pleasure of the unique, setting in the unique hour. Flowers by Arthur Rimbaud. From a golden step, among silk cords, green velvets, grey gauzes, and crystal discs that turn black as bronze in the sun, I see the digitalis opening on a carpet of silver filigree of ice and hair. Yellow gold pieces strewn over a gate, mahogany columns supporting emerald domes, bouquets of white satin and delicate sprays of rubies surround the water rose. Like a god with huge blue eyes and limbs of snow, the sea and sky allure to the marble terraces, a throng of roses young and strong. Friends by Arthur Rimbaud. Come, the winds are off to the seaside, and the waves by the million. Look at the wild bitter rolling from the mountain tops. Let us reach, like good pilgrims, green-pillared absinthe. Myself no more of these landscapes. What is drunkenness, friends? I had soon, rather, even rot in the pond than of a horrible scum near the floating driftwood. Historic Evening by Arthur Rimbaud. On an evening, for example, when the native tourist has retired from our economic horrors, a master's hand awakens the meadow's harpsichord. They are playing cards at the bottom of the pond. Mirror conjuring up favorites and queens. Where are saints, veils, treats of harmony, and legendary chromatics in the setting sun. He shudders as the hunts and hordes go by. Comedy drips on the grass stage. At the stress of the poor and of the weak on those stupid plains. Before its slave's vision, Germany goes scaffolding toward moons. The Thar deserts light up, engine the walls, firmament in the center of a celestial empire. Over stairways and armchairs of rock, a little world, worn and flat, Africa and Occident, will be erected when the bell in the familiar seas and nights, worthless chemistry and impossible melodies. The same Portuguese magic where the mail train sets you down. Even the most elementary physics feel that it is no longer possible to submit to this personal atmosphere, fog of physical remorse, which you acknowledge is already an affliction. No, the moment of a sea cauldron, of seas removed, of subterranean conflagrations of a planet swept away, and the consequent exterminations, certitudes, indicatives for little malice by the Bible and by the Norns, in which a serious person should be on the alert. Lilies, by Arthur Rimbaud. O seesaws, O lilies, animals of silver, disdainful of labours, disdainful of famines, dawn fills you with a wound-searching, cleansing love, a heavenly sweetness but as your stains. Armand Silvestre. Movement, by Arthur Rimbaud. A winding movement on the slope beside the rapids of a river, the abyss at the stern, swiftness of the incline, the overwhelming passage of a tide, extraordinary lights and chemical wonders lead on the travellers through the windspouts of the valley and the whirlpool. These are the conquerors of the world, seeking their personal chemical fortune. Sport and comfort accompany them. They bring education for races, for classes, for animals. Within this vessel rest Eden Vertigo and irrelevant light, troubled evenings of study. From this conversation amidst of machines, of blood, of flower, of fire, of jewels, and busy calculations on this fugitive deck, and the stock of studies visible, rolling like dyke beyond the hydraulic propulsive road, monstrous endlessly lightening its way, themselves driven into harmonic ecstasy and the horizon of discovery. And the most amazing accidents to youth stand out alone upon the dark. Can one excuse past savagery and sing upon the watch? Mystic, by Arthur Rimbaud. On the slope of the knoll angels were their woollen robes and pastures of emerald and steel. Meadows of flame leap up to the summit of a little hill. At the left, the molded ridge is trampled by all the homicides and all the battles and all the disastrous noises describe the curve. Behind the right-hand ridge, the line of Orients and of progress. The band above the picture is composed of the whirling and rushing hum of seashells and of human rights, a flowing sweetness of the stars and the night, and all the rest descends opposite the knoll eye like a basket against our face, and makes the abyss perfume and blue below. Pleasant thought for the morning, by Arthur Rimbaud. At 4 o'clock on a summer morning, the sleep of love still lasts. Under the spines, the dawn dispenses scans of a festive night. But down there in the huge workshop near the Hesperidian sun, the carpenters in their shirt-sleeves are already astir. Peaceful in the midst of a wilderness of foam, they are preparing the costly canopies, the riches of a city that smile beneath painted skies. And for these charming labourers' sakes, subjects of the king of Babylon, Venus, live lovers for a little while, whose souls are bearing crowns. A queen of the shepherds, take strong liquor to the workers, so that their strength may be calmed until the sea bath at noon. Royalty, by Arthur Rimbaud. On a brilliant morning in a city of lovely people, a wonderful man and a wonderful woman were shouting out loud in the middle of town. "Oh, my friends, I want her to be queen. I want to be a queen." She kept on laughing and trembling while he talked to his friends about revelations and tribulations at an end. They laughed and they leaned close to one another, and of course they were royal. All morning long, when scarlet draperies hung upon all the houses, and even in the afternoon, when they appeared at the edge of the gardens of palms. Seascape, by Arthur Rimbaud. Chariots of copper and of silver, prows of silver and steel, fresh upon the foam, up he veils the stumps and brambles. The currents of the heath and the enormous ruts of the ebb flow circularly toward the east, toward the pillars of the forest, toward the bolts of the jetty, against whose edge whirlwinds of light collide. Sensation, by Arthur Rimbaud. In the blue summer evenings I will go along the paths, and will go over short grass as I am pricked by the wheat. Daydreaming I will feel the coolness on my feet. I will let the wind bath my bare head. I will not speak, I will have no thoughts. But infinite love will mount in my soul, that will go far, far off like a gypsy, through the countryside joyous as if I were with a woman. Song of the Highest Tower, by Arthur Rimbaud. Idle youth, enslaved to everything, by being too sensitive I have wasted my life. Ah, let the time come when hearts are enamored. I said to myself, let be and let no one see you. Do without the promise of higher joys. Let nothing delay your majestic retirement. I have endured so long that I have forgotten everything. Fear and suffering have flown to the skies. And morbid thirst darkens my veins, thus the meadow given over to oblivion, grown up and flowing with frankincense and tars, to the wild buzzing of 100 filthy flies. Out of 1,000 bereavements of a poor soul, which possesses only the image of Our Lady, can one pray to the Virgin Mary? Idle youth enslaved by everything, being too sensitive, I have wasted my life, and let the time come when hearts are enarmored. Tale by Arthur Rimbaud. A prince was vexed at having devoted himself only to the perfection of ordinary generosities. He foresaw astonishing revolutions of love, suspected his woman of being able to do better than the habitual acquaintances embellished by heaven and luxury. He wanted to see the truth, the hour of essential desire and gratification. Whether this was an aberration of pity or not, that is what he wanted. Enough worldly power at least he had. All the women who had known him were assassinated. What havoc in the garden of beauty! At the point of a sword they blessed him. He did not order new ones. The woman reappeared. He killed all those who followed him after the hunt over the liberations. All followed him. He amused himself cutting the throats of rare animals. He set palaces on fire. He would rush upon people and hack them to pieces. Her thongs, the gilded roofs, the beautiful animals still remained. Can one be in ecstasies over destruction by cruelty rejuvenate? The people did not complain, and no one offered him the benefit of his views. One evening he was proudly galloping. A Jenny appeared of ineffable beauty, invulnerable even. In his face and in his being shone the promise of a complex and multiple love, of an indescribable happiness, unendurable even. The prince and the Jenny annihilated each other probably in essential health. How could they have helped dying of it? Together then they died. And his prince died in his palace at an ordinary age. The prince was the Jenny was the prince. Vastness of the music for a desire. Tear by Arthur Rimbaud. Far away from birds and herds and village girls, I was drinking, kneeling down in some heather, surrounded by soft hazel copses, and an afternoon mist, warm and green. Can I have been drinking in that young noisy, voiceless elms, flowerless turf, overcast sky? What did I draw from the guard of the wine? Some golden liquor, pale, with coarser sweating. Such as I was, I should have made poor ensign, and the storm changed the sky until the evening. Those black countries, lakes, poles, colonnades under the blue night, railway stations. The water from the woods trickled away into virgin sands, the wind from the sky threw sheets of ice across the ponds. But, like a fisher for gold or shellfish, to think that I did not bother to drink. The Bridges by Arthur Rimbaud. Skies were grey of crystal, a strange design of bridges, some straight, some arched. I was scanning at oblique angels to the first, and these figures were queuing in other lighted circuits of a canal, but not so long and light that the banks, laden with domes, sink and shrink. A few of these bridges are still covered with holes, other support poles, signals, frail parapets. Minor chords cross each other and disappear, ropes rise from the shore. One can make out a red coat, possible other costumes and musical instruments. Are these popular tunes snatched of sensual concerts, remnants of public hymns? The water is grey and blue, white as an arm of the sea. A white ray falling from high in the sky destroys this comedy. The Old Guard by Arthur Rimbaud. To the Emperor's pageants, to the pageants' Emperor, to the sons of Mars, to the glorious 18th March, when heaven blessed the gods of Eugene. The Parents by Arthur Rimbaud. We are your grandparents, the grown-ups, covered with the cold sweat of the moon and the greensward. Our dry wines had heart in them. In the sunshine, where there is no deception, what does man need? To drink, myself, to lie among the barriers and rivers. We are your grandparents of the fields. The water lies at the foot of the willows. See the flow of the moat round the damp castle. Let's go down to our storerooms, afterwards cider or milk, myself, to go where the cows drink. We are your grandparents here. Take some of the liquors in our cupboards. Tea and coffee, so rare, sing in our kettles. Look at the pictures, the flowers. We are back from the cemetery. Myself, are to drink all urns dry. The Poor Man Dreams by Arthur Rimbaud. Perhaps an evening awaits me when I shall drink a piece in some old tone, and die the happier, since I am patient. If my pain submits, if I ever have any gold, shall I choose the north over country of vines? Oh, it is shameful to dream, since it is pure loss. If I become once more the old traveller, never can the green inn be open to me again. The Soul, by Arthur Rimbaud. Eternal unities split the pure water. Venus, sister of azure, stir up the clear wave. Warning Jews of Norway, tell me of snow. All beloved exiles, tell me of the sea. No more of these pure drinks, these water flowers for glasses. Neither legends nor faiths quench my thirst. Singer, your god-child, is my thirst so mad, a mouthless intimate hydra which consumes and ravages. The sun has wept rose, by Arthur Rimbaud. The sun has wept rose in the shell of your ears. The world has rolled white from your back, your figs. The sea has stained rusted to crimson of your breasts, and man had bled black at your servant's side. Time without end, by Arthur Rimbaud. We have found it again. What? Time without end. Is the ocean gone for walk with the sun? Soul, your sentinel, murmur and confess. Day is fiery hell, night is nothingness. On the common urges from the human highest, where thy path diverges, following thou fliest. By expectancy, by auditor, science patiently, punishment is sure. Where blaze alone saddened flames of force, duty's breath is blown, no one says, of course. We have found it again. What? Time without end. Is the ocean gone for walk with the sun? To a Reason, by Arthur Rimbaud. A rap of your finger on the drummer fires all the sounds and starts a new harmony. A step of yours, your living of new men and they're marching on. Your head turns away, over new love. Your head turns back, over new love. Change our lots, confound the plagues, beginning with time. To you we children sing. Raise no matter with the substance of our fortune and our desires, we beg you. Arrival of our time, who will go everywhere. Working People, by Arthur Rimbaud. O warm February morning, the untimely south came to stir up our absurd pauper's memories, our young distress. Henrika had on a brown and white check cotton shirt, which must have been worn in the last century, a bonnet with ribbons and a silk scarf. It was much sadder than any morning. We were taking a stroll in the suburbs. The weather was overcast. The wind from the south excited all the evil odors of a desolate garden and dried fields. It did not seem to worry my wife as it did me. On a path left by the rains of the preceding month, on a fairly high path, she called my attention to some very little fishes. The city with its smoke and its factory noises followed us far out along the roads. Our other-world habituation, blessed by sky and shade. The south brought black miserable memories of my childhood. My summer despairs, a horrible quantity of strength and of knowledge that fate has always kept from me. Now we will not spend the summer in this avaricious country. There shall never be anything but vines and orphans. I want this hardened arm to stop dragging, a cherished image.